on your stream they were talking about. Did the guy come back recently? From what I've heard,
neighbor, he's driven past me a couple of times, and he hasn't done anything. He hasn't. The last thing he did was I was walking the dog down the street. He was in his vehicle and he was revving the engine at me, like I don't know, scare me and make me turn back the other way. I didn't. I just kept going, and then he opened the door, but he didn't get out. And then he closed it again, and then he sat there for a while, and then he left. Since that moment, he's passed me twice driving, and he hasn't done nothing to me. But I've been going the other way. Walking the dog. So, and I like this new way better anyway. So, hey, it works out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand your point of view, but it's like you have to have, the price of liberty is internal vigilance. You have to be ready for bad situations. Yeah. You have to be vigilant.
Oh yeah, and I also somewhere around here I got here it is. I got a Cam Pro body camera that I wear every time I go outside and walk the dogs or do anything outside. I wear this body camera. This is my eyewitness. That guy had his friend the first time when he threatened me to act as an eyewitness, I guess. Well, this is mine, and this is better for me. These don't lie. These don't alter the story. This is going to be like right here every time I walk, and you can't even delete the footage off the camera. You got to plug it into your laptop computer and have a passcode for it. I mean, they could break it. I guess they could do that, but yeah. So if somebody approaches me, does anything, I'm going to have it documented. So that's good.
Yeah. I would say have different things available. Have your close range taser. Have your regular. Have your shooting taser.
Yeah.
Get your monkey's fist or whatever,
Yeah.
Or a sack of nickels would do, you know what I mean?
True. That is true, yeah.
Just a simple bag of like coins, you know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, I got a pool table over there. There's a bunch of stuff on it, but the point is I got pool balls in there.
They work.
I mean, those in a sock, my God, that could do some damage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not saying attack without provocation.
True,
No. Always have a sense of
about deterring. I don't even want to tase anybody. This is only if I have to for self-defense.
Yeah, and that's a good idea. Only if you have to. Only if it's necessary. Quite a few times I had to defend myself. I took karate for several years. I think part of the subconscious reason is I never wanted to have what happened to my father ever happen to me, Yeah. And I think that's been my goal, I guess, standing strong, learning how to fight, like getting tough, I don't think that they will try the same stupid shit, that they know me. Like I had a lot of people threatening to come to my house. I mean, look at Botter, he's always sent cops and pizzas to my house, but he's cowardly. He won't send people. He won't send other people to my house because they know if they did, they'd be one and done. You know what I mean? He wouldn't come to my door directly. He's not stupid.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so he's sent police to your house. They physically went to your house.
Yeah. Until it stopped. Until they eventually figured out it was bullshit. I had to tell the police what was going on. And these pizzas have been sent to my door. But the one thing, Botter's a coward.
Yeah.
He will never threaten my life many times, but people who make threats don't go through with anything. People who say nothing will go through with something. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's talk and there's action. This is why I never threaten anybody. Never. I don't make threats. The wise
Yeah.
policy.
That is true. So let me ask you this: when he sent the pizza to your house, did he pay for the pizza, or
No.
he did not? Well, that's dastardly. Then I mean, at least pay for the pizza if you're going to send it. That's what I say.
One time he sent hot pepper, jalapeno pepper, like a really hot pizza that I couldn't eat.
Oh wow.
I don't eat
Yeah.
spicy.
Yeah. Did you ever pay for any of the pizzas and stuff?
Yeah, fed a few times. I helped someone out.
Oh wow.
You know.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, hey, I might. Hey, if somebody sent it to me, I mean, maybe a couple of times, maybe I just pay for it and have myself pizza. I'm not advocating anybody send pizzas to my house unless you want to pay for it. Then I will eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite lesson lethals.
Well,
It's
now what's
big.
that?
It's the HCR 68.
Oh, nice.
You can exchange magazines with these. You got these basically micarta kind of like holsters.
Yeah.
They're spring release holsters made by Humorex. You could put them on your belt. They don't come with the gun, by the way. These don't come with the gun. They're sold separately. You have to buy them on eBay or Amazon. So they don't come with the gun, but they're good. I would say a good like accessory to have.
My taser, I had to buy my thing separately too. My holster. This is a nylon one. I could have got like a plastic kind of one, but I just wanted this just to be able to put it in my pocket and conceal it. Number one, but also it slides out real fast, like so.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the plastic one was, I think, was one that goes on the outside of like a belt or maybe your pants.
Yeah.
If you're going to like be seen, like if you want to be seen with it, I want to conceal mine. I don't want to be seen by anybody. I
want to get a shoulder holster for this one. I want to get a shoulder holster for this one. This is perfect for a conceal underneath the shoulder.
Yeah.
So I'm going to buy a shoulder holster for this one.
That's a good idea. Yeah, the reason I steal mine in my pocket is I don't want to be outside being seen with the tasers, having a neighbor think it's a gun and calling the police on me. You know, I don't need that to happen.
That's true. I live more out in the country, so we can get away with some things more.
Oh yeah, and you're more. I mean, somebody's more likely to break in the country. You know, there are no eyewitnesses, nobody that would call for help for you. Like you're pretty much on your own in the country. I would imagine. Yeah. Yeah.
We have our share of problems here. We have junkies here. We have desperate people.
Yeah.
You know, gotta look out for them.
True.
You know, the point is that you have to be vigilant in the sense, like for example, there was an Australian family tragedy that happened. There was a home invasion by I'm not going to say what type of people invaded this Australian family's home.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of mistakes made in this home invasion that could have been prevented. This was a country people, so they never expected to be invaded. And these were people just armed with sticks. And they had guns, but they were in a safe. That was part of Australian law. You had to keep the guns in the safe. Well, you couldn't get to the guns in time. You know?
Yeah.
That's not a good thing. So one of the mistakes the father made was, number one, if someone's breaking your home in the middle of the night, you have to have weapons at the ready, hidden around in places where you can get to them. You know? Maybe where not the children can get to them, but where you can get to them. You know? And you could have different kinds of weapons, not just firearms, not just, you know, don't rely on just one weapon. I mean, he could have had knives stored away, you know, and hidden in places. He could have had swords or whatever. You know what I mean? Different things. Didn't do that. You know? Number two, he should have had dogs. Dogs are a natural security system, and because they can be both an alarm system and basically a trap. You know, so if he had dogs, right, a whole bunch of dogs, they are a deterrent.
Not my dogs are like cowardly dogs. I guess I was even walking my big dog, my big white dog, and when the neighbor approached me, I had the pepper spray. The dog was there. It's a senior dog. It's a friendly dog. It's not an attack dog. It wasn't barking or anything. I don't think the dog even knew there was an immediate danger, but it did not deter the guy. So you got to have the right kind of a dog too. You know.
I know, but having a bunch of dogs around helps. You know, it's a deterrent in the sense that they see dogs, they'll be less likely to come onto the property and try to break in.
True, yeah.
You know, another thing he shouldn't have done was when he heard the sound of people breaking in, was just running into the dark to meet the problem. That got him killed, beaten to death with sticks, and his children were raped, and his wife and children were raped. Only one survived, and the one that did committed suicide afterwards. Tragedy. All could have been prevented. Number one, if he would have basically gotten dogs, had other kinds of weapons available, and would have stopped and listened before he went running into the dark. When someone's breaking your house, you never run into the dark to meet the problem. You don't know how many there are. You stop and listen. You know what I mean? You know how many there are. Your best bet is to fight from the shadows. You know what I mean? Do not try to just run to the situation. You know? And he should have had dogs. You know? There's the 4 things he should have done that got him killed and his family killed.
Yeah, even though there's just little dogs here and then the big old dog, when somebody walks by or comes to the door, they're always barking, letting everybody know, hey, there's possibly a threat here or a person here. They know somebody's there, and they're barking because they hear it. They've got very good hearing. So even for that reason, if you got weak-ass dogs, I mean, they're still going to let you know somebody's there, so you'll be prepared and you'll know somebody's there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the point. Another thing he shouldn't have done was run. He ran into the living room into the dark to meet the problem head on. He didn't know how many there were. He didn't know what armed with. He didn't stop and he didn't listen. You know, stop and listen. He could have just listened by the sound of their feet, how many there were. You listen to the sound of their feet when they're romping in, right? You will know how many you're dealing with. You know, how many attackers you're going to be dealing with. And you can't exactly attack in a direct way. You live in a country like Australia that has gun restrictions. He had to keep guns safe. No, man. But the point is that he should have had other weapons ready. He should have been ready in the sense that you cannot take on multiple opponents in the dark. He was beaten to death because he ran into that living room like a stupid ass. You know what I mean? Your best bet when you hear rumbling is to stop, listen. How many footsteps are there? Hear them talk. No, man?
Yeah.
No. You know what I mean? And then you'll know what you're dealing with. You know what I mean? And if you can't fight them directly, you can basically take them out, in the dark. The dark would be your best bet at that point.
Yeah.
If you If he had one of these, well, they're banned in Australia. It would have been no problem. Right out of the dark. Bam.
Yeah. I wonder
When
what
it comes to
what are you
yeah,
allowed to have in Australia? Like anything?
not much. Australia has a very restrictive thing. I have a friend who lives there. You can't have crossbows. You can have bow, but no crossbow. Firearms are heavily restricted. A lot of things are restricted there. You know,
See.
you can have knives and blades, but and spears and stuff like that. But it's going to be difficult to get a crossbow. But we live in a country where there's no bans on crossbows, no bans on things like that. They have bans on slingshots in Australia.
Oh
Mhm. The point is that you have to be ready, and you have to be willing to basically not do something stupid. Because I've lived through this experience, I know that if you hear rumbling at night, you tiptoe. You don't go running to the situation. You tiptoe, you stop, you listen, you get yourself ready. You know, you have to think strategic. Someone breaks in your house. You don't know how many people there are. You don't know what they're armed with. Don't know. But what you can figure out by the footsteps when they're talking, you'll figure out that you're dealing with numbers or just two guys. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you're going to tiptoe through your house. You're not going to run to the situation. You want to basically get your enemy in a position where you have the advantage. You know? And that's the mistake that Australian man made. It cost him his family. It cost him his life. Pretty much. But that being said, we can learn from this. You know? Have you learned something?
I have, yeah. Don't run to the situation you hear the person breaking in. Number one, how many of them are there? You don't know. You don't know what they have on their person. You tiptoe. You make sure. Hey, you know where all your weapons are. Your less than lethals. If you got a lethal, for people watching, you make sure you know where all these things are. Maybe you got a blade, a sword, a spear, or something.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
and and if I'm out and about in the neighborhood, don't attack first. Only in self-defense. Be stoic. Do not raise my voice to anybody. Do not yell at people. Speak very calmly and rationally in every situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of things to learn.
Yeah.
You know? This is Christmas. This is the Lord. This is the birthday of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. And as a Christian, I believe in that. I believe that this is the Lord's birthday, and this should be celebrated. And Jesus gave him the great gifts, the greatest gift that you could ever give, eternal salvation through Jesus Christ. Because we're on this world for a short period of time. And yeah, this world's crazy. But you know what thing? The next world, if you believe onto him, that means believing that he died for your sins on the cross. That you're not perfect, you're a sinner, You just got to believe, and you will have eternal salvation.
Nice.
So this Christmas, Jesus has given you the ultimate gift. Eternal salvation in heaven. I don't know if you're a religious man or a Christian man. I don't know if you believe or are a believer or not, but I believe.
I've been studying the past 3 months religion, and I want to believe for sure. I want there to be something more, for there to be some higher being, some creator, for us to have a purpose beyond just being an accident and all that. So I
We're
definitely,
not.
yeah,
You know, I used to believe that. Here's the thing: I've experienced things that changed my perspective quite a bit. You know, there are things beyond what we see. Okay?
yeah.
Did you know human beings can only see visible light?
I don't know if I ever thought about it. So I mean,
We can
yeah.
only pick up visible light. There's an entire light spectrum that we cannot see.
Wow. Can any animal see this kind of a light, or
Yeah, I think it can. Yeah.
let's see.
Like your dogs will detect something paranormal
Yeah,
that you won't see. Like they'll bark at something that's not there. It's a good sign that something's there that you don't see, but they see,
yeah,
that they're detecting. You know?
yeah.
And I love dogs.
Me too. I've always had dogs, so at least one. Now we got three, so yeah,
Yeah. But the point is that dogs are a great security system. You know.
yeah,
But remember, although you might not ever get your house broken into, and if it's a burglar, if he gets detected, he's gonna run, you know? You know? But most of the time, you never know, but you never know what's gonna happen to you. You know? You gotta be ready. You got to be ready. You know?